Why are pizza commercials so stupid?
This episode of Vicis and Interimo is brought to you by Ray's Occult Bookshop for the finest in supernatural reading.
Ray's Occult. 7 o'clock on weekdays, midnight on Saturdays. Thank you.
Portions of this podcast are made possible through the patronage of great people like At Lonely Bob, Big Alvy, and Goldafish. Since we are trying to grow our podcast in every way possible, even if you can't be a patron, you can still help us grow by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the podcast. Also, you can show your support by proudly placing our Vicis Interimo sticker where everyone can see it. Send me your address in a private message and I will mail you your very own sticker anywhere in the world free of charge. My email is madsaxon, with 2 X's at yahoo.com. That's madsaxxon at yahoo.com. Thanks for your support. It means a lot.
Welcome to the Vicis and Interimo 30 Minutes to Kill podcast.
You are listening to the Vicis and Interimo show, 30 minutes to kill, more or less. Your safe space for horror. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Hi?
Hi.
Is that how we started, with a word whisker there, with a
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm a little confused and...
Then it sounds like you're ready for this podcast.
Okay, great.
You are listening to the Vicis and Interimo show, 30 minutes to kill, more or less. We are a horror movie review podcast featuring horror, suspense, and psychological thrillers. Psychological thrillers. That's today's topic.
Psychological thrillers.
That's right. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher's, Podomatic, just about anywhere. Type in VICISINTERIMO. And here we go. I am your host, Michael Mad Saxon Jones, with my lovely wife and co-host, Lori. Hi, Lori.
I already said hello.
Well, you can always say it again.
Hello.
All right. Our show generally consists of 4 segments. Laid to Rest, where we wrap up any loose ends from previous shows. We have a short movie review of our featured movie, the psychological thriller. I'm going to screw up the name, so I better go real slow. The Limehouse Golem. Yes. Not the Lighthouse Golem, which was completely different and doesn't exist. Then we have Garbage In, Garbage Out, where we talk about any other movies, TV shows, video games, whatever we may have caught over the last week or so. And we end with the Crawling Chaos, a topic or factoid we've never talked about on the show before. I mixed up that intro and stuff because people got to be tired of hearing that after about 10 years.
I know I am.
Oh, man. I'll have you write your copy.
I never get tired of listening to you. That's true.
Okay, well, that's good.
You can actually say that.
We'll
and not get struck by lightning.
A long and successful marriage, then.
Yes. 15 years this Halloween.
For that and a lot of other reasons, too, I guess.
You're my favorite.
Yay.
We're so gross.
So, anyhow.
Everyone's like, shut up.
Let's wait for that gunshot. So anything that you wanted to tie up from the last show alter?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well,
we talked about alter, and what else did we talk about?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Me too, because I don't remember.
You don't remember talking about Little House on the Prairie and
yes.
The Maze Runner and...
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything to add or tie up, do you?
Okay. Well, it seemed like there was something else that I had to tie up regarding this episode, but I guess not, since I didn't write it down. Must not have been that important. Actually, let me double check my notes here. Shuffle paper.
Do we have something else to say about the altar? Or, excuse me, altar, not the altar.
That's right. Don't get it confused.
No.
All right. I don't think so.
I guess we just, do you like it any better? After thinking about it all week? Not really, huh?
No. I mean, I liked it okay for what it was.
I guess we didn't hate it.
No, we didn't hate it, and I think I liked it better than you did, but...
That's
it's just,
right, I forgot.
Yeah, it was just the...
You liked it okay anyway.
Fascinated by the supernatural, but that ending just still killed it for us. So.
Yeah, it stunk.
Okay, so...
That's about enough of that, I guess.
Yeah, let's actually get on to something worth talking about.
Okay.
I'm Inspector Kildare of Scotland Yard. I'm investigating a series of deaths. They're calling them the Limehouse Golem murders. At Ratcliffe Highway, he slaughtered a household. The previous week, a prostitute. And the Golem's a madman. Even madness has its own logic.
Inspector Kildare, I may have found an eyewitness in Limehouse, sir.
I can't tell you what I know.
Just assist me. I promise I won't let anything happen to you. Who was here on September the 24th?
There were 4 men that day.
John Cree, Dan Leno, George Gissing, Karl Marx.
The newspaper said it was your first murder case.
The Yard is setting me up as a scapegoat. The public want blood. The Golem provides it. He who observes spills no less blood than he who inflicts the blow. It's a message to us.
How many more people have to die before the Golem is caught?
You keep my secret, and I'll keep yours. The Golem is still at large. Wasting my time could cost lives.
I believe the Golem is after me.
I shall stop this. I guarantee it.
We all wear pantomime masks, do we not?
Here we are again!
So, do you have a lot of notes for the Limehouse Golem?
You already know the answer to that. I have 0.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
realize.
terrible. Was it bad? Did you not like it? Did you?
No, it was great.
Okay.
It was very enjoyable.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
I'm not sure. Well, see, okay. I didn't realize that was our movie of the week, so
Okay.
I didn't take any notes because I was like, this isn't a horror movie, so surely this isn't the movie we'll be talking about. But here we are.
But it's so clearly a psychological thriller.
Is it?
I think it is.
Okay, well, it's a murder mystery.
Okay.
With twists and whodunit and stuff.
Right. There's some gruesome and graphic scenes.
Yes. The horror is definitely in the violence.
So here, as a matter of fact, the title on the movie poster or whatever is Before the Ripper, Fear Had Another Name.
Okay.
So I had no idea what this is. You put it on our list. We got it from Netflix.
Yes.
Because we still get discs. We're old. Anyhow, Golem. So here's what I thought. Here's what I was expecting. I was expecting something of the traditional Golem.
Like a monster movie.
Like a monster movie. Because what I was thinking is, and I'll either show my ignorance or my brilliance. Well, not brilliance, because that's overstating
Maybe
it.
I'll show them at the same time.
Probably both. People that actually are intelligent and know what I'm talking about are going to be like, he's so wrong. And other people are like, wow, that's really rare and obscure.
Yeah, he sounds really intelligent.
So here's the thing. The Golem, a Golem, not from Lord of the Rings.
No, not that Golem.
Not that Golem. My only wish is for a fish.
Yes.
So, not that Golem.
Nice and cool, juicy, sweet. Capture fish, so juicy, sweet.
A golem, in the traditional sense, as my understanding of it is, it's a lump of animated clay. It's a humanoid shape. I guess also they use the term homunculus. But the golem is an animated clay being that was animated to take revenge on the people of Jewish faiths, their enemies or whatever.
Right.
I mean, there's different stories. There's multiple stories and stuff. And
yeah,
to do that,
it's turned into. I mean, there's.
It's used quite broadly now.
Yes.
I think. But what I know of it is that to animate the golem, one must write the name or the word life in Hebrew on the forehead of it, and the only way that you can destroy it or get rid of it is if you can get close enough to wipe out or to wipe off that first letter, or to destroy or undo that first letter, because in Hebrew, if you remove that first letter, it becomes death. As opposed to that. Now,
that's interesting.
Isn't it, though? It's fascinating.
If that's correct.
Exactly. Unless I had that completely wrong and it's completely apocryphal.
I'm thinking about how you begin this, saying you're either going to sound really dumb or really smart.
So, I don't know. Like, that's just one of the random, obscure things that I picked up along the way and stuff. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a monster movie of that nature.
I only put it on there because of who was in it, so...
Yeah, who was that? So I put you on the spot here. Let me get their names right. Because
I believe his name is Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, okay. Not the science guy.
Not to be confused with Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is Bill Nye, N-I... G-H-Y? Or N-I... anyway, he's wonderful and I love him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I fell in love with him in... the Underworld.
In the Underworld series, okay.
Yes, he was one of the ancient vampires, the one so rudely woken up. He was just, I just absolutely fell in love with him.
Yes.
He's wonderful. So I saw that he was in it, and it was like, and there's Emma from Bates Motel. Her name's not really Emma.
It is not. It is Cook, Olivia Cook.
Yeah.
Cook, K-O-K-E?
Yeah.
C-O-O-K-E. There we go. Olivia Cook, yes.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Anyhow, and Douglas Booth was also in there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, point, what is the story? So, the story is, in Victorian London, a Scotland Yard inspector hunts down the sadistic killer behind a series of gory Jack the Ripper-like murders. That's the short synopsis from IMDb.
I was going to say it's very much, if you were a fan of Ripper Street, which we absolutely were, it had that feel to it for sure. A little more gritty than some...
Yeah, because I mean that was a serial
stories.
that was... but it's funny you should mention similar stories, because we should talk more about it. But first of all, I'm going to say all of my notes consist of other movies.
Okay.
So when I sat down to watch this, I know, and we watched the stuff afterwards, we watched some of the extras. I understand that they tried to do something unique and different, and that's why it's not strictly horror. That's why it's more psychological thriller. The way they tried to tell the story reminded me of, and I have just a list of things, but that was the problem. They did something unique, but for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just like this, and that's just like that, and that's just like...
something unique, how?
Well, the way they were telling it, they... recreating...
Well, it was first and foremost like a mystery.
Right.
Just straight up murder. There's a serial killer, and it's just the mystery of who done it.
Right. And while they're doing that, they give you possible scenarios completely acted out in much the same way.
Yes.
But here, and it's not, maybe it's just because of me, just because of what I've seen, my experience or whatever. Like the first thing I thought of was CSI.
Okay.
Because CSI will recreate from the evidence.
Oh, okay.
So there was a little bit of that. A little bit of The Bone Collector, the movie The Bone Collector with, was that Ashley Judd, I think, was in there. I thought about Seven, because it's very much, you've got, like I said, it's a inspector from Scotland Yard, very much using Sherlock Holmes-like detective methods, not exactly, but, trying to reconstruct, and there's more of a story to it.
Sure, he just got no respect, though.
None whatsoever.
That was different. It was like he was set up to fail.
Exactly. But then that reminded me of Ripper Street, certain parts of that.
Yeah.
Portions of that story.
Yes, the politics within the system.
Right.
Yeah.
Manhunter was another thing that I thought about. The series Manhunter that we had watched and stuff with the infancy of criminal detection or that type of work. I'm not exactly sure. Actually, I am kind of sure why I put in Bowfinger. Did you ever watch Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin?
I've seen parts of it. It was hard. It was rough.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Okay, we'll let you do that.
Okay. But I love it's a movie within a movie of them and so on. So because some of the characters within here are actors, you get that going on also. And I guess that throws back to to Shakespeare.
Right.
Doing the play within a play.
Yeah.
To call out the guilty parties. Anyhow, those things were all just going through my head.
There was a lot to enjoy in here.
There was so much to enjoy, so much that I was thinking about. It didn't feel unique, and yet all of these things together in one movie felt good.
Yeah.
It was engrossing. It was enjoyable.
You had me sold on that. Because when I asked you, what was unique, I couldn't... Because, I feel like Ripper Street, you'd like this. It was just like that. Well... Yes,
there was so much more and so much different. Yeah, exactly. So we're going on and on about this. Let's actually talk a little bit.
And of course, there's reveals and stuff. And dang it, if we don't see them coming every time.
Well,
I want to see a movie that I'm completely surprised at the end. Like, dang it, I didn't see that coming. Because that's an awesome feeling, and nothing can do that for us anymore.
So I was going to actually ask you about that.
Unless it's The Visit. Sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. The Visit.
That was a surprise.
That was a surprise.
Didn't see that coming.
I kind of knew a portion of it was coming, not the whole thing. Anyhow, we're getting off the track again. So anyhow, I've kind of derailed myself, but at this point, with the altar... And with this...
Altar.
Sorry, with Altar. And with this, these last couple of movies.
Yes.
Is it good or bad playing along with the movies? I mean, we try to figure that... Should we not do that? Is it just because we're old? Because we've seen so many of these things.
You might be old.
That we know what twists are coming and stuff. It's funny because I think about...
you know what? You and I were all about the story, and we can't help it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't just sit there and watch something unfold. My brain is just...
Want to solve that. You want to jump ahead.
It's trying to figure it out, and
Okay. If you enjoy that, you'll enjoy this then.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll figure it out before we get to the end, or maybe you won't.
Even if you just like sitting there and watching it unfold, and then there's going to be tons of surprises.
Yes, indeed. Anyhow, so I read the synopsis. This story, so my only other suggestion is, Limehouse. Limehouse is one of the poorest districts in London there.
Yeah.
And that's where this takes place. And the reason this is called the Limehouse Golem is because it's kind of I wanted to say a slander against the Jewish faith. Or they're blaming it on the Jews and stuff in this. Anyhow,
that was kind of an interesting... because it didn't play heavily into the story.
No, but
that's what was a little odd.
And so anyhow, my point was going to be that you do have to have an ear for British accents.
Yes.
And you have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
to be
some
able
people that drives them nuts. It always cracks me up because when I look at reviews on Netflix, a lot of times movies like this will get just a star or two from people that say, I could not understand this, like it needed subtitles. And I'm always thinking that's ridiculous, but...
I kind of understand. I get it. But anyhow, so you need to have an ear for that. Some people are
just really bad with accents.
Right.
It makes me wonder sometimes, are there people in England or Ireland or anywhere that can't understand what the heck we're saying?
I'm sure there are.
Isn't it fascinating?
I'm sure there are a lot that probably can't. So
it's fascinating to think about.
It is. It's interesting for sure.
Well, and look at all the different accents we have here in the States.
Well, that's the other thing too. Even in the States, we have problems understanding some people.
Go up to New England or go down south or like way out where people still speak pidgin English and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, huh?
Well,
or some of the Cajun dialects, huh?
Oh, yeah, I can't.
Are you sure that's English? Yes, it is. Okay. If you say so.
Well, that's interesting, and I've in the long run have come to think of America as just like a lot of different countries together. We're called the United States, but each state does have its own. Yeah, anyhow, this is not about the movie. Back to the movie.
Yeah, what?
All right, so characters.
We're trailing off.
Everybody in this just put in a great stellar performance.
Yeah.
It's like it was meticulously done from beginning to end. And I thought it was enjoyable.
Excellent.
The special effects, the sound effects, like the music, everything was really great in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else can you say?
You said the sets, right?
Right.
It like Ripper Street. I remember us really enjoying the believability. You know, those dirty streets of London back in the Victorian time. Like everything was so authentic and gritty feeling.
Right.
Like you'd be watching a scene and you'd be thinking, "Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk through there."
Yeah.
You know, gotta wait, like catch the plague walking through there or something. So everything was super well done. The clothes, the hair, the streets,
just everything. Anyhow, so we enjoyed it.
And it was 2017.
Yeah.
It was just out last year. Why have I never heard of it?
Well, because who knew, and is it horror and everything else, you know?
Yeah, but...
So, I don't know.
Where did it release? Who saw it?
I don't know. Nobody but us at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what... I mean, maybe it just didn't come to our favorite theater.
Maybe.
I will miss stuff sometimes because we go to such a small theater.
Right.
Yeah. They don't always make it to our...
They're not a Fathom event theater. You know that now, right?
Oh, my gosh.
All right, quick side note.
I do know that now.
They often display Fathom event stuff, so we wanted to see the Queen concert live. We rushed up there to the theater to see it. It wasn't showing there.
No.
They're like, no, we just advertise here. We're not Fathom. You have to go down the hill to...
Would have been nice for them to say that in the big trailer they showed on the big screen for us.
That they show every time we go there.
Fathom event. Come and see the Queen concert. This, whatever, Friday at 8. Okay, well, we were there. And they're like, that's not showing here. What the heck?
Anyhow, sorry, we're getting off the topic again. Having a hard time here.
So
what's your number?
What would you rate it?
Oh, man. I've got to give this a 5. Because like every one of these movies that I likened it to, or TV shows or whatever, are things that I liked or I love for one reason or the other.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed this. Rewatchability, in a couple years.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah?
Yes, because... like other movies that, you know, the big reveal finally comes, it's like, ooh, were there signs?
Were there things
I missed? Yeah. Yeah, I could totally watch it again soon.
Soon, okay.
Sure.
All right.
I think I could.
And what's your number?
Well, I would give it a real strong 4, possibly a 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
And I would recommend it to people that enjoy Victorian England, like period piece.
Gotta love period pieces.
Yeah, if you're a fan of all of those kind of Jack the Ripper or I loved Ripper Street because it's Ripper Street. Jack the Ripper was a theme throughout, but it was not. They weren't looking for Jack the Ripper. That's not what the show was about. It was just murder mysteries set in the streets of London.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked out Ripper Street yet,
definitely
that first of all, I would absolutely recommend, and this I would as well.
All right. Fine. Let's head on to garbage in, garbage out.
Why are pizza commercials so stupid?
I don't know. Well, there's a hell of a segue. So, it's a great pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yes, it is.
We enjoyed that earlier in the week. And
it's that time of year
again. It is that time of year. And we have other fun stuff. We haven't talked about that. Did we talk about the fact that we did the Goosebump movies? We haven't talked about that.
We mentioned it.
We maybe mentioned it.
I think we mentioned it last week just briefly, but we didn't really...
Well, that episode is coming up.
That's going to be our special Halloween.
we may do some other stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to put anything out there until
you and I are about ready to pack up and leave town for our anniversary.
For our anniversary, because we got married on Halloween.
Yeah, so we're not going to have a lot more time to pull together too much more stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always can't wait. Every year I always think, what are we going to do this year for Halloween? Like, I'm always just as surprised as everybody else, probably. I am very surprised we're doing the Goosebumps movies.
All right.
But you know what? People always say Halloween is for kids. To me, it's for everybody. But, I mean, it's true. What was better as a kid than Halloween? I mean, aside from Christmas and Santa and all that.
I'm not even sure Christmas was for me, but...
Well, yeah, you got gypped.
Well, that's another story for another time. Hey, I'm going to say a quick shout out to Slug, who just saw the Jell-O shots for the Thing movie.
The scary Jell-O shots.
Those awesome Jell-O shots.
Look out, they'll get you.
Anyhow, so finally, after, wow, I don't even want to count out the years or whatever, I saw Mommie, Dearest.
Yes, you did.
I had never seen Mommie, Dearest before.
Did it deliver? Was it everything you thought it might be?
It was. Yes and no. It wasn't. It's funny because it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was good. It was as good as I thought. It was better in some ways.
Okay.
But not as good. So it's weird. Like, my first introduction to it was like a segment or something from the book that was like in a Penthouse magazine or something. It was an excerpt or something. They had talked about the book before the movie came out. Not sure why I was reading Penthouse at that age.
So what part was it?
I don't know.
Something iconic? No more wire hangers? Or Christina, give me the axe, or something like that?
It was something like that. Something of that nature. It was just a section or whatever, like a Reader's Digest condensed version of a couple of chapters or whatever. But so I'd never seen the movie, and I'm familiar with the scenes and stuff like that, those iconic things that everybody else has parodied or whatever. Yes. But I had never seen the movie till now. So.
Well, that's why I got it for you to watch.
Exactly. So we watched that. We watched Great Pumpkin. We watched Mystery Men again just because we needed something to do, I guess.
Well, I just put it on while I was cooking.
How could you...
I've seen it so many stinking times. I thought, okay, I'm going to be in the kitchen cooking. I can't see the television. I'm only going to be able to hear it. So I looked at all of our movies on the shelf, and it was, which one of these do I want to listen to that I could totally picture in my head as I go? I don't have to watch it because I got it. And my eyes hit Mystery Men, and it was, yes, that is the one.
And like a siren song, it called me out of the computer room out into the...
Yeah, all of a sudden you were in the living room sitting in your chair. I was like, oh, where'd you come from? Mystery Men brought you out.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, we still, how often do we quote lines from there?
A couple times a day, probably.
Way more often than I
thought,
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how some things stick with you. And maybe it's just funny to us at this point. I don't know, but yeah.
Did you see that in the theater when it came out?
I don't think I did. I may have seen it once in the theater.
Yeah.
And if not, I saw it like once upon release on video. No, I had to have seen it in the theater. I think I saw it in the theater. Okay. And I saw it with some friends, and my other friends just hated it. They just did not get it.
You should have been hanging out with me at the time.
Well, yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, because I saw it in the theater too.
So, but they just didn't get it, and they wanted a straight superhero movie.
What is not to get? Oh my gosh. I feel sad for people like that.
Well.
Sad. sad people.
At any rate.
That's okay. There's a lot of movies I don't get.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
You're happy you don't get them, huh?
Yes.
All right. Moving on. Anything else for garbage in, garbage out?
I don't think so.
All right.
Oh, I am playing Pikmin 3 again. Again.
All right.
Yeah, they just make me happy.
So I have a Crawling Chaos, but it's really more of a suggestion of just something to watch on YouTube.
Okay. What do you got for us? Something exciting and informative, or just entertaining, or something to ponder?
Yes.
Something
informative
to
and something to ponder.
Okay. What do you got there?
What's the point of meditating?
Oh.
So
that's a good question.
I came across, so I got like a 14-minute video to watch on this because really, what is the point of meditating? You know, you contemplate whatever. Well, there are different types of meditation, first of all.
Yeah.
There's lots of those.
Well, it starts with just checking out of there's so much stimulation around you all day long, and your stresses and the phone, and the part of it is just to take a break and to just have a quiet moment.
Right.
And try to clear all of that stuff away.
Yeah.
That's the beginning.
So, what's the practical benefits of it, though? And I mean, starting with shutting out some of the constant stimulus that we get all the time, whether it be from our phones, our TVs, computers, radio, whatever it is, just the nagging problems of family or money or
I might need to meditate after today, actually.
Well, that's kind of why I brought this up this time. We said we weren't going to be one of those podcasts where we lay down all of our problems for other people to hear about and stuff. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, about this being a safe space for horror. This is about entertainment. This is about whatever. But this is, I think, a benefit to anybody. And why meditation? Any more practical application and useful application of meditation and what it can do. It can lead to better performance in other areas.
Yeah.
And even when you're not meditating, if you can reach a meditative state while you're doing things, you're going to find yourself better able to handle times of stress and stressful situations. So with that in mind, why meditate is a link that I'm going to include in the show notes.
Okay.
And again, it's like 14 minutes. There's no other agenda here, whatever. It's just useful information I think anybody can benefit from. And I thought it was really super interesting.
Yeah, I think anyone, anywhere could benefit from a little bit of meditation.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be this Zen thing when you contemplate nothingness of the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of times, I mean, it's as simple as concentrating on your breath.
Yeah.
And just concentrating on that. Forget all the other stuff and so on, and you'll find other things start to creep in, and you just kind of push those out, and you're like, no, I'm supposed to be thinking about breath. Just think about that. And it's really hard to do, actually.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of effort and practice, but it can have more beneficial effects in other areas of your life. Yeah. So there's something we hadn't talked about for a while, I don't think, or ever before.
I don't think we've ever talked about meditation.
So there you go.
Good job.
Yeah. All right.
You hit the criteria of being a crawling chaos.
Having said that, any other loose ends to tie up?
I don't think so.
I think we killed it. I'm hoping that Goldifish has got her package by now.
I hope so.
I saw that it had landed in Heathrow the end of last week.
Hey, it's over there then.
It's over there. So, and Goldifish, your video was out there. If you can't get the link in the places that I sent them...
Because you did a boxing video.
I did a boxing video for you. And for you alone, or anybody you want to show. So, Goldifish, if you're wondering where that name comes from or who that is, it is, or she is, one of our patrons. At Lonely Bob and Big Al V are two of our other patrons. It seemed like there was something else I wanted to mention about Lonely Bob's newsletter. There was something... Oh, here it was. And it caught my attention, and he has a newsletter on Nuzzle. that you can subscribe to, or you can, just click on. You can put in Lonely Bob's newsletter. But 4 ways we can all work to fix fake news.
Oh.
That caught my attention, and drew me right
topic.
in. That's a great topic for,
Any solutions anyone has.
That we can work together to make, yes, absolutely. Anyhow, thanks to everybody for listening. And as always, you can get in contact with us by emailing me directly at madsaxon, that's MADSAXXON at yahoo.com. Look us up on Facebook, VICISINTERIMO, or just friend me, S. Michael Jones. I think we killed it.